There are some things in your life that God chooses for you to go through because it all works together for his plan and his purpose that he has for your life. There are certain things that God chooses for you to go through that he sets aside for you to endure so that he can get a level of power and glory out of you so that you can be in the position of alignment you need to be in to do what it is that he's called you to do. He's preparing you. He's shaping you. He's molding you. He's maturing you, all for what it is that he wants to do good in your life, all that he wants to produce good out of you. But then there comes a point in time where we can be so confused, where we can get so outside of our own spiritual understanding and begin to think from our flesh. And so because of that, we will ask the question, God, why, if you chose me, would you allow for this to happen? But it is a reality that not every circumstance, not every situation that hurts, not every place we find ourselves in that makes for us or cause for us to endure pain is because God chose it. Sometimes it is a reality that it is a reflection. It is a product of our disobedience. Sometimes it is a product of us not doing or being what God has called for us to do and where he's called for us to be. Because we do have free will, it is possible for us to make our own decisions. And when you are not in a place where you can hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying, if you are not in a place where once you hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying, you can still choose to do what it is that God is desiring for you to do, despite the discomfort that it may cause for you to go through, then you yourself will put yourself in a position where you now have to deal with discomfort. You now have to deal with circumstances that you would not have had to deal with if you would have stayed in alignment with God. So sometimes we have to stop trying to blame God for the circumstances and the situations and the consequences that we have to deal with, and then looking at God and saying, how is it that you chose me, but I'm going through this? You got to stop for a minute, humble yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, and then bring forth a certain level of clarity to your mind to remind yourself, wait a minute, let me ask God, did I do something outside of what I was supposed to do? Because it is also possible to do something outside of the will of God or outside of his plan, all because you weren't paying enough attention. Innocence and ignorance is not the same thing. You can do something and not have bad intentions, but because you were not intentional about hearing what it is that God is saying, about getting clarity and revelation from God, seeking first his kingdom, and then getting a understanding from him as to what you're supposed to do, then you can move yourself over into a position where now you have to deal with a certain situation at a certain time in a certain circumstance that you did not want to deal with. And it is not God's fault. Sometimes it is us. Now watch what the word of God says. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So wait a minute now, you got a purpose. You're called. And if you're called and you have a purpose and you love God, God will take you being in a circumstance that you're trying to blame him for. He will take that circumstance, take you not having the wisdom and the understanding to not blame him, and still make it work together for your good because you love him. And he understands that you are flesh. He understands that there is nothing good that comes out of the flesh, but he still is going to use you. Now, why would he still use you when he know you ain't nothing good? Because he chose you. And when God chooses you, he will make good come out of you. When God chooses you, he will use every single thing that is wrong with you, that is good with you, that is off with you, that people like about you. He will take all of it and say, I created you, I formed you, I knew you before I placed you in your mother's womb. So let me be God and do what it is that I'm gonna do in your life, regardless of if you disobeyed me, regardless of if you made a decision outside of what I would have wanted you to because you didn't seek my face first. Regardless of any of these things, I am still shaping and molding, and I'm going to use every single situation, every circumstance that you were ever in, that you put yourself in, not that I chose for you, and I'm going to use it to bring you to a place of completion so I can do in your life what I want to do in your life.